Hello, Apichatpong. Hola.
Hey, good morning.
Good
Hola.
morning. ¿Cómo estás? How are you?
Yeah, buenos días.
Buenos
I'm
días.
fine. Yeah, I'm
Uh,
very tranquilo.
so I was telling you that my cat is better. You remember my cat
Oh,
was get an operation, but he's becoming
yes.
better. It's in recovering. So I am very happy with that. Yeah.
Wow, I'm happy for you because in your email it seemed very serious.
Yeah,
Mm,
it was a serious
yeah.
operation. And he's
Hmm.
15 years old, but seems that, well, they say cats have 7 lives, no? Then maybe now he has still 6.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a long way. He will outlive us.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
a long way to go.
So this conversation is for a market in a festival in Spain called Abycine Lanza that used to help new directors to support and explain how to make independent films. We are in
Okay,
this,
yeah.
in this field, so they are interested to know how you manage to make your films, how I manage to co-produce films like the Apichatpong films, etc. So we can start from any point,
Okay.
but
But you know
maybe
what?
since,
It
excuse
it
me.
really sounds like a dream to me because all these years has passed and I said it's like a dream because I couldn't remember much what happened because everything is so wonderful and then how did we made it, it's sometimes I have this question.
Hmm. But
Yeah.
how was the beginning, Apichatpong? How was with your first films, Blissfully Yours? How
Oh,
you managed to produce these films when you were starting,
yes,
in the art?
it went back to the late 90s,
Mhm.
1996, 97, when I uh, study film in Chicago and came
Mhm.
back to Thailand. And at that time also it was the starting of the internet. And
Yeah.
I was trying to communicate like where can I find funding for this film that I is almost like continuing from the Chicago experiment.
Mhm.
And I decided to shoot a film that is flexible because
Mhm.
uh, whatever money come in, I can shoot, and then when I run out of money, I can stop. So it's episodic.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about Mysterious Object at Noon,
Mhm.
the first feature kind of fiction and documentary film of mine. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and that film got the funding from Hubert Bowes, and
Mhm.
I
Got it.
was submitting twice. The first time they didn't know what kind of project is this is,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
and also because I didn't know as well what kind of project it was. I was experimenting and finding out along the way, you know, and more or less, I think that's still my operation. I have a script, of course, for later films, but still, it always about finding, through the process of making it. So I rely so much later on producers who can communicate for
Mhm.
me. And luckily, I found many, very kind and understanding producer, and you're one of them. I'm very grateful,
Yeah.
um, and that's why I say it's a miracle. It's like a dream.
Yeah. But at this beginning, did you already meet Simon, or that was later?
No, that was later. I
That
met
was.
him in 2004.
I see. So,
That's
and
after my third film.
yeah. Well, we must say for the audience that Simon is the main producer in the last projects of Apichatpong, and He is joining us, the rest of producers, for making a film with Joy, and he's based in UK, and it's a big character, and we appreciated him very much. So, and your first film that was done by steps, how long it takes to you? A couple of years or
A couple of years,
couple of
because
years to
yes,
film it?
I did everything myself, and we had a crew in the beginning, 7 people.
Mhm.
I'm doing a camera, and then sound man, and then there's one assistant. So traveling along the country, and
Yeah.
I'm doing a 16 millimeter eclair camera.
Uh-huh.
I'm doing everything myself. I'm loading the film, and I'm doing the reports, and
Yeah.
it was a crazy time,
Yeah, but I
and
understand that.
also a big learning time too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, but this is something interesting for people who are beginning. If you have not the resources, if you have not enough money even, but you have the interest and the passion for doing that, there is always a way of making it, isn't it? Even through difficulties, you can finally could make a film. But you
I
must be honest.
didn't.
You must be in this
Yeah,
uh,
exactly, because I
mm,
didn't think about hardship, because I enjoy it.
mm,
And when I look back, I thought, oh, that was hard.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Um,
yeah. That's amazing when you look to the rear. Then you see, well, finally, I must accept that I have could do something, despite the difficulties. That's right. That's right.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, So I remember when I meet you first. I mean, in fact, my first contact with you was through Tropical Malady. It was my first film, the first film I watched from directed by you. Then I saw the
Where did
rest.
you see? Where did you
Yeah,
see it?
I see it here in Barcelona because it was the only film at that period that was released through a company called Sagrera. It was released,
Yes.
very small release, but I had the possibility to watch the film in the theater, and I say, wow, that's different to everything, that's magic. For me, was, very, very
Mm.
impressive. Later on, this film was shown in the Cinematheque as well, but at the beginning, we
Mm.
was in a small theater. And later on, when it was in Cannes, that year that you were a jury in the competition,
Yes,
you remember that?
I do. When was
Yeah,
that? 2008 or 2009, something like that. 2000.
probably you were writing the script for Uncle Boomee at the time. You were on the
Yes.
script of Uncle Boomee, and I remember we were with Simon when we met, and you told me about Second Life, and that the idea was explore a little bit this kind of magic thing, and I was enthusiastic of that, and uh, that was the beginning of our collaboration that year in that field. So for me, it was very interesting, and that makes sense, because festivals also help us a lot to independent people to connect and arise the possibility of making things. Do you agree with that? The importance of
I
festivals?
I do. From the beginning,
Mm,
I met friends from festivals, in terms of producing, production, and also programmers. It's like a big family. For example, I met Simon in Tokyo,
mm,
also when Tropical Malady was screened, 2004. And then I met others. I met you right through. So it was, for me, I didn't like to travel that much and to meet a lot of people, but again, when I love doing something, it's not difficult, so the travel becomes something
Yeah.
pleasurable because of the movies, and also filmmakers friend, like Chia Changke and
Yeah.
other
The filmmakers.
filmmakers, Kawase Naomi. So
Mm.
it it is, I think film festival was very important, yeah, platform.
And also Regadas, no? You met Carlos Regadas as well at the beginning. I remember you told me the
Yes, I
Mexican
met him
director.
in, right. Where did I meet him? Maybe Slovenia. Yeah, around that.
Just a minute. José Luis Murriol. Sí.
Hello.
Yeah, it's my dog here too.
What's his
Yeah.
name or her name?
No, Noé, like the
No,
prophet, Noah.
Noah.
I show you it. You don't know
Yeah.
him, no? Never saw.
Have I
One
seen?
one minute. Mira. Bien, bien.
Oh, look.
Okay.
Golden, right?
Oh,
Golden dog. I,
pobre. Today looks like taxidermial, the poor.
I don't get it. Like people have
Excuse
like
me?
such a big dog.
Yeah, it's a big dog. It's a golden retriever. It's
It's like
around
really
33 kilos, 33
raising a
kilograms.
little cow.
You have
For
not
me, I have
dogs,
little. I have three,
little
and I
dogs.
always have little one because it's like mobile,
Yeah,
just
yeah. I
carrying
think this is clever. I assure you.
and less
So,
food to feed, and
less,
food
yeah.
to feed the dog,
Less
and
food, less food. Yeah, yeah. Less weight, less food, less everything. Yeah. So
yeah.
one thing that I believe the audience will be interested to know is how you share your art, with movies, in the sense that you are a little bit split in two fields. One is the art scene with the galleries, the museums, and so on. Another one is the
Right.
film industry with festivals, theatrical releases, etc. How you manage
Mm,
to be in the two fields?
yes, people actually don't know that I started making so-called artworks and video art since the beginning, along with films, short films, feature films, and then, like you say, I kept them separated in every way, in the exhibition way and in the financial way, until Simon Field came into the picture, and he started to see that, my artwork is moving images as well, and there's some overlapping um, kind of spaces that can make it happen in his view. So he started to connect the dots,
Mm-hmm.
and starting with Haus der Kunst in Germany, uh, to partially funding the primitive project, which
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Boonmee is part of. So I think the way that he combined art and film funding in that project is quite unique, uh,
Sure.
even now,
Sure.
because we were talking back then that, okay, this could be something that many people would benefit, like can do the same, and now it's still not really many people haven't done that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So
You are the few, one
yeah,
of the
quite
few
a few.
doing this. Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
peculiar. Yeah, and
But for me, it's really natural, Luis, because I've been making video installation for a long time, and sometime, with the feature film also screen as part of the program in the museum. So
Mm.
there's a very shared audience as well.
Mhm.
So it just needs some museum programmer or director who can see this vision that it's just a combining platform that could help artists. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it's very interesting, really. And in fact, Primitive with Uncle Boomee inside was part of this program that I found was a very intelligent position in order um, mm, to join, art, because
Hmm.
movies are art as well, and
Yes.
to give films another space, another category, another way of being exhibited, even in museums, like the short film and things like that. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's
Right.
this is very difficult for many people to try to make films and make art and try to
Mm.
survive in this field. People who are beginning, but I can also explain for the audience a little bit how I managed to be in Uncle Boomee. You know,
Yes.
uh, when I saw the idea, I saw the project, I say myself, I want to be there, absolutely, And then at the beginning, here in Spain, a co-production with some other countries, which is a way of making films, of course, we can talk about this too, was the institutions were a little bit reluctant to that. Not now, but at that time, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, were a little bit reluctant. And then I
Mm.
find a way that for me was working. Once was to try to convince one local TV, the Catalan TV, that they say yes, was few money, but they say yes, because I take the risk first. And then to take advantage of one of your exhibitions, one pack of your exhibitions, Primitive, to sell it to an organization called here La Caixa, which is like a bank, Caixa Forum is like a site for the art of a bank organization. So that was a way of financing the Spanish part in that film. And I was interested in telling that because maybe some people could also see that way of financing a film, if one is in the artist scene as well. So
Mm-hmm.
interesting to know. And then, as we all know, Uncle Boomee was probably an unexpected big success at the beginning. We didn't know if we are going to get
Mm-hmm.
the Palme d'Or. That was a surprise for every one of us. But was
Mm-hmm.
I would say, in my opinion, it's like was the festival was doing justice, because was defending cinema as it is more than industry. And then from that point, your career changed a lot. That's clear. Your prestige, international prestige as well, etc. Now that is 11 years past, how you will situate this event, and in which way do you think has changed your life or whatever? Anything like that you like to explain since Uncle Boomee?
Well, honestly, I'm really grateful because, like you said, Bunmi has opened many doors. And honestly, inside, I still feel the same. I don't have much pressure to make another one. I still don't plan that much ahead. So I'm still waiting for inspiration. So there's not much, that okay, you win a Palme d'Or and you have to do better for the next film, or you have to make a bigger film. For me, it's not like that. I was even more enjoyable to make smaller ones, like something that I haven't had a chance, especially in the art arena. No, so over the years, I've been working on more actually local. mm, continue to explore the region that I was born, and to shoot video still with the same team. Yeah, I've been contact from, you can say, from studios,
Yeah.
abroad, from the States, but I don't know if I can do it even now. There's still some people contact, but I I just feel that I'm really comfortable being independent and to work with people almost on a collaborative level. Like the last film, Memoria, is still, I still say that is personal works, even though Tilda,
Exactly.
but still on a friendship level, it's this,
Yeah.
she didn't come to the project, like with many things like Hollywood actors would do, so um, I don't know, as long as I feel comfortable and not too much stress in life at this point, I just embrace uh, uh, the things at hand, something
Mhm.
close at hand. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's really a good point. Uh, how you have keep your fidelity of the kind of movies you like to make, even in another context and being more internationally or worldwide known. No? And for me, Memoria is a big example of honesty in the sense of keeping your wall, even if you are shooting in another country with other language, English and Spanish, and even with a big actress like Tilda Swinton. But it is still 100% an Apichatpong film. And congratulations, really, because you know you uh, you
Thank
save
you.
from the trick of doing big things or being famous or all this stuff. And that makes me think in one item that I always understand why we are also in this industry or making films. Because in a way it's a responsibility. Even making
Mm,
films, I feel myself is a responsibility. I
mm.
mean, it's not a
Yeah.
matter of doing anything. Why to do anything? Because it's no. If you are making a film, it's a
Mm,
responsibility. If not, do
mm,
another
mm.
thing.
Yes. And
Yeah.
and you know what? Who knows? Maybe in a few years I would make another kind of film. Maybe in
Yeah.
Hollywood or in Bollywood or in
I don't believe
I don't
so.
know. It just
Yeah.
life. Just make it flow. As
Yeah.
long as it's make you happy, make me happy. You know, and yeah. So I'm really, for example, inspired by Manuel Oliveira. That
Yeah.
he, for me, he's managed to be bold and experimental, in his the way that he makes films for so long, and
It's
in
a good
like a
point.
family,
Yeah.
you know. So that's one of the major example for me.
Mm.
Um,
For me
yeah,
either.
I don't know how you feel about him, but I.
No, for me it was a master. I mean, because especially without wanting, he told me that age is nothing, it's a fiction. Age. I mean, why not to make a film if you are 60 years old? It's not matter. You don't need to have 30 years old for making films. You can do a film and your creativity is always with you all your life. And for me, it was an
Yeah.
example of continuity and of passion. Passion, even having 106 years old. It's a big example. But anyway, turning back, I don't believe that you are going to finish in Hollywood. Maybe it's an effect of the COVID vaccine, but I don't think so. I don't believe so.
Maybe, but
Maybe.
you know what, I like Hollywood films, and
Yeah, yeah, I know
and
that.
I I see there's many new producers and companies that open up, and willing to experiment. Because as much as I don't watch so many film online like Netflix or
Mhm.
HBO, but I can see that it helping also to generate a lot of different kind of contents that
Mhm.
that make the producer taking more risk, maybe to
So,
find, because you can always find certain kind of audience,
mhm.
when you look at the platform like movie,
Yeah,
so
true.
it it creates a new kind of audience. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. In fact, we have a film that starts in Abycine Lanza last year called The State of Bravio from a new director, Ainhoa Rodriguez. This film have a prize in this market, and
Mm.
then we follow to finally produce with a lot of effort to finish the production. Was in Rotterdam this year, and now it's working very well. I must send you a link. I will send you a link of this film, The State of
Thank you.
Bravio, which is like the translation will be like Mike the Flash, but it's a bad translation. Yeah. It's about deep Spain, and you will see it. I think you will
Oh.
enjoy it. Yeah. So that makes sense. But well, I agree with what you say that, of course, in the United States there are also independent producers, independent filmmakers, that maverick
Mm.
filmmakers, even that they are
Mm.
doing a very interesting job.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that's true, and that brings to my mind a question, an interesting question to explore is how uh, you you move in this Colombian country, which different language and a different atmosphere. I know that
Mm-mm.
you were very helped by Diana Bustamante, the
Yes.
Colombian producer. But I mean, for me, it's a surprise Memoria, your last film, because it's also an Apichatpong film. It's shot in Colombia, should be shot in Thailand. There is no difference. I mean, it's just the same spirit. And I am really curious to know how you manage all this time in that foreign country
Mm.
to move and to do.
It was madness because I felt like when I talk about my first film in the late 90s, when I look back, it was hard, and I feel
Yeah.
the same with Memoria. Now, when I look back through three years ago, I was like, what did I think? What was I thinking? Because it's almost impossible, you know, thinking about Tilda Swinton in Colombia and demanding her to speak Spanish, and there's so many impossibilities that that when I think it about it now, but at that time I was so enjoy the country, and I was everything is possible, and
Yeah.
as you mentioned, Diana Bustamante, she's also a very strong and crazy producer that made it possible, because there are several times that I was really want to give up, and there's even one time that we were crying, just both of us in the restaurant, three of us,
Mm.
with a set production art
Mm.
director, we were
Mm.
just crying like, oh, we cannot go on, you
Yeah.
know. But then, new day arrive and wake up and say, oh, okay, let's try. And, you know,
Mm.
um, so this, I think I have to owe a lot to Diana, because we have a lot of problem with finance,
Mm.
and she has the same spirit as Simon Few, and you too, that there's always the way, to find solution, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so with her, it she carved a space for me to introduce me to the culture there, with the right assistant, and to allow me to learn, to spend quite some time in Colombia, and then with the language coach for Tilda. So everything is really becoming more and more comfortable each day until the first day of the shooting, and at that time I already felt at home, because
That's
the first day of shooting, we were already dancing together, before the shooting,
yeah,
so I felt like the feeling of
family,
intimacy. Yeah,
like a family. Yeah, that's very important. To make like a
yeah,
family very film. Yeah,
yeah.
that's the
And
way of
then,
doing it.
yes, and
Yeah.
everything was the same. There's a camera, there's a film, there's a light,
Mm-hmm.
there's a tripod. So
Mm-hmm.
everything is, for me, is the same. So I don't
Yeah,
feel
I
much.
agree.
Yeah, but
That's
of
fantastic.
course with my DOP there too, my camera person, I feel
Mm.
very comfortable. Mm.
And it's funny because I think it was Tarkovsky who said that if a person is not belonging to a film, something happens that disappears off the set. You know,
What do you mean? Like,
I mean, when you have a crew for making a film, if there is a person that is not in this family or able to be in the same kind of energy, suddenly
mm,
disappears. Because maybe there
yeah,
is the shooting for another job or there is a conflict or whatever, But I mean, it is like a being, no? Like a creation, a being. And if something is
yes.
not, mm, I think it was Tarkovsky to say that if someone is
Oh,
not permeable to the film, it disappears from the film. Well,
mm, mm.
it's a,
It's
it's a
like a
nice idea.
body. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the same body. One.
it's the same body,
We,
exactly one body.
we
Exactly,
move
exactly.
together.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
I
mm,
agree
mm.
completely. Yeah. So for you has been then a nice experience to shoot in Colombia. And do you think from now that you are going also to future projects to explore this idea to shoot in other
Mm.
countries? Or
Hmm.
you
I still
think that?
I still have a passion to explore Latin American countries.
Uh-huh.
Like you holding the book, no, in the beginning, the book of Memoria.
Yeah,
Those
this beautiful,
those
beautiful.
yeah, it's like a film in itself with
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of
fantastic.
memories. Just
Yeah.
going and new places and new people,
Mm.
and people were very open, and for me it's perfect because it's because I think filmmaking is not about the film itself. It's all from the beginning of the process of discover, is also my way of creating art as well. It's this process. Yeah.
Eh, maybe he needs a pee, but we will have 20 more minutes to
Hey,
talk.
hold on.
Yeah. So one of the things in Memoria that I mean, well, there are so many things. It's a beautiful film. I recommend it absolutely. But one of the things is that in some way, archaeology is like looking in the garbage. In the
Mm,
trash. This kind of idea becomes to me because here in Europe, archaeology is very mythified. It's like from the Romanticism. The archaeologists going to Egypt with Napoleon and then discovering the ruins of Greece and Rome and so on, and has this kind of special status. And in your film, suddenly this status is disappearing because it's like finding bones, in the trash. And this
yes.
idea was very, very special for me. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It was
Yeah.
from the research because I found that the process of archaeology, it's like making film. It takes a long time,
Yeah,
to get one pot or one bone,
yeah,
just
yeah.
slowly, brushing it is, yeah,
And
until
then
things get,
yeah, it's
yeah,
like a puzzle, no? Small pieces that finally creates a new organism, no? Like
right,
film, like
right,
small pieces that finally uh, creates a new thing, Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
nice idea. It's a nice idea. I have read some of the comments and criticisms around your film in Cannes months ago.
Mm,
And well, for me, they surprised me two points. In one, I saw that there is a connection. I don't know if it's true or not. That's why I'm asking you. A connection with Rossellini's trip to Italia, Viaggio in Italia. Another
oh,
one's actual in was a newspaper. I don't know. I read it and it was selling that. I don't know which newspaper, but one selling that your film has the same spirit because there is a person wandering in a unknown country. In the Rossellini's film, is Ingrid Bergman in Italy, and here is Tilda
mm,
Swinton in Colombia. But that there is a
oh.
connection in between both films. I don't know if you agree on that or not.
I haven't seen that film
You haven't.
too, so
You haven't seen that film. Okay, then
no.
you see the invention of the critics. That's
But
interesting.
of course,
It's a very nice film anyway. If you have the possibility to watch it, yeah. And
yes, yes.
yeah, and then I am curious to know in your movies there is a connection in a way with the movies of your country, the of the Thailand, the old Thailand movies with fantasy and so on. How far is that in
Eh,
your cinema?
oh, it's interesting because are you talking about Memoria, or because
Oh, I
I
am
didn't
talking.
feel.
No, not in memory specifically, but from uh, Tropical Malady, for instance, the
Mm,
kind of jungle films or
I,
fantasy, like a fairy tale in some sense. Mm.
yeah, yeah. I think so. I think so. Maybe not necessarily tied to movies, but maybe to media in general and
Uh,
life in general. Mm.
yeah.
The way that we, you know, believe in different dimensions in terms of spirit, spiritual dimension,
Mhm.
and I found that really like how you say, applicable to movies, because for me to make film is like raising another person coming out to the world. It's like making a person, but this person only exists with the light, and then when the projector is off, this person is gone. So is for me there's
It's a
some link
phantom.
with this. Huh?
It's like a phantom. No?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm always aware of this when I make a movie, that this is something not tangible. It's
Mm.
something, yeah, memory. And
Yeah.
when you see it 1 year, and then when you see it 2 years later, it's different film.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
it's
true,
up to
depending on the
you.
moment. Mm.
Yeah. So
Well,
so
that
the
means
film is, yeah. With this in
the
mind, I
film is
think
alive.
when, yes,
Has his own personality. Is alive. Yeah.
it grows by itself,
Yeah.
and so I think it's that view that can be viewed as something very innocent,
Mm.
that kind of synchronized with the way that the story is told as well.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
And yeah, I would say it's difficult to make these kind of films. That we know, but the way, in my opinion, and I come here to just explain a little bit of our experience, is to make co-productions, in the sense that
Yeah.
for financing a film is really a way of doing it, because first you have the possibility to match 4 or 5 people and maybe have small money from 4 or 5 areas. And then that brings also the possibility of these films are going at least to be seen in these countries. Now that is this big difficulty for independent movies to be released worldwide. That's a way, of stress the importance of every of the countries who are involved in the production can have his own territory. For instance, when Uncle Boomee, we succeeded to be in Sitges in the festival. The film was released in Spain, was launched in DVD and in platforms. So it was a way of making familiar Apichatpong in that unknown territory at the moment, who was Spain, So my recommendation for these new producers and even directors that are in this Abycine Lanza that will watch this video is to try to focus in that field, in that possibility, to try to convince people from 3, 4 different countries to be in the same project in order to make it more
Yes.
reliable, more easy to do, even through the difficulties. And you are a good example of that. Maybe your first film you produce yourself, as you tell before, but
Yeah.
then you meet people, and every time has been easy, not easy, but you have created even a team. In this team is the distributor, the match factory. So I mean,
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
the tools now to make it possible. To make it possible to circulate in the world.
Right.
And that's interesting. It's an experience to share. That's why.
I yes, I think the first thing is that you have to love the project. And
Mm.
even though I've had the Palm d'Or and recognition, but it's still not easy to make each film. If you want to make a personal film, even let's say with Tilda Swinton, it's still difficult for me
Yeah, yeah,
and for
true.
producers, because it's you can see from the script that is that. So if you are love the project and you kind of fight for it, and for me everything counts. Little money, $2,000,
Yeah,
$1,000,
yeah.
like little things. For example, when we were in Bogota, it's really hard in terms of finance, because everything is have to be very precise. And you know we really want to shoot in this space, but
Hmm.
but they won't allow us, the owner. So I promised them, okay, let's do a bargain. So
Mm.
I want to create an artwork for you afterwards. So after the film, they in the end they allow us to shoot in that space. Yeah. And then in the end I create a photograph, edition photograph, and give it to them. So this kind of bargaining and using
Interchange.
whatever, yeah,
Mm.
whatever ways to make each day possible to shoot. you know
Yeah, yeah.
and it
That's.
was hard, but again, when you were doing it 3 years ago, it was fun, it was really
Mm,
enjoying.
mm. I agree completely. But yeah,
Mm,
for instance, in my case, I have in 30 years I have co-produced 40, more than 40 films, and
mm,
directed 4 of these 40 films. But every time it's more difficult to me to reach the financing for making a film, because
mm,
TVs are difficult to support for this kind of proposals. Then the institutes of cinema, they have their own policies now. For instance, they are more focused in new directors, first, second film, and even women directors, in order to
yeah.
bring the possibility to share more the industry, and that is called positive discrimination here. Positive discrimination. So, I mean, even having a career is difficult to make the new film. You know, it's amazing how difficult it is.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's well, you need a lot of passion, and there is a lot of possibilities of learning things during these processes. During the process of even financing a film, you are learning a lot of issues, you know, and every time is different.
Yes, I think
Yeah,
that there's always you have to adapt. No, in each film,
yeah.
financing is different.
Yes. And trying that our head didn't explode. Like you were bang.
Hopefully.
Yeah. This I don't know if I hope Memoria will soon be released in Spain. I don't know if you have already
Mm.
know if there is any distributor or
I have no
festival here.
idea.
No?
Yeah, yeah. Because I I wish, because it's always for me. Show big screen is always the only way, actually,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
when it goes on online, I don't think it's my film anymore. Yeah,
yeah,
so that something I have to learn to live with. Or but at the moment I feel like something like Memoria is good only for the big screen.
yeah. Of
So I
course, the
hope that
soundtrack,
it can, yeah.
the
I hope
sound
that it
is
can
in
show
this
that.
film. Yeah, it's very important. Very, it's really a big part of the film is the soundtrack. So that must be seen in good conditions. You know, are
Right,
you
right.
are you expecting to be soon released in Thailand, Memoria?
Yes,
You know that?
we still have this COVID pandemic
Ah,
situation.
yeah.
Uh, we aim to open it in middle of December this
Yeah.
year.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
next
And
week I'm going to Colombia. Yeah.
ah, to the first. Okay. To
Yes, for
Bogota.
the premiere. Yeah, they will
Premiere.
have a premiere.
Good. Big trip again from Thailand to Colombia. Yeah. You via Madrid or no? How you fly?
Uh,
Yeah.
we're Istanbul.
Istanbul, Turkey. Turkish Airlines. Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, that will be perfect. Will be nice. Yeah.
Life is like normal again because it's feel like, you
Yeah.
know, the movie release, you have to travel and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, it's becoming more complicated, but yeah, we will adapt. There is not another issue.
Mm.
That's true. Yeah, maybe the audience will be interested to know also a little bit which are your references. I mean, the people you like. If you don't know, if you know something about the Spanish cinema or the Spanish movies, you know
Mm.
Buñuel, for instance. You know the Buñuel films.
Yes, even
Yeah.
though I haven't seen many films, I read
Mm.
about them and I saw some of them. And not not necessarily Spain, but I think world cinema. I don't know much, except
Yeah.
when I study. It was
Yeah.
really intense period in the 90s that I studied.
Mm.
Those time I know a lot of film, but once I make movies, I feel less, you know, feel like I'm really focused on my own work, you know.
Of course.
So I know someone, of course,
Mm.
like Pedro Costa or
Ah, yeah.
oh
Yeah.
no, sorry, that's Portuguese, but
No, no, it's
uh,
Portuguese, but yeah, it's the same
yeah,
peninsula, Iberic.
yeah, and Oliveira, of course,
Sí.
with the Portuguese. So I don't know, Almodovar.
Yeah, of course.
Mm.
So it's funny,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm
because
not a film, I'm not a film
I-
buff. Sorry,
excuse me, I lost you. I, I
I'm not a
didn't hear you.
film. I'm
Well,
not like a film person.
cinephile, cinephile. Yeah. Yeah, but I agree with you that Portugal is a very nice example of how to make artistic movies with few money but with a lot of talent. Like João César Monteiro before, Manuel De Oliveira too, and now Pedro Costa, and many others, Teresa Villaverde, many directors. João Canicho, João Nicolau, there are many directors that are making beautiful films with few money, and they make only 20 films by year in Portugal, but there are 18 of these films are artistically interesting. More than 80% of the films they make are artistically interesting. Here in Spain is
But
a
how did
different.
they do it?
They have
How did they do it?
They had the institution of the cinema in Portugal that helps to make these kind of films. They have the local TV, well, the national TV, RTP, and they have also, they make many of these films in co-production with France sometimes and with other countries. Yeah, France always is an example of how to manage everywhere in the world, in trying to be close to the talent everywhere in the world. That is a good example, but they have a lot of money. They have, for instance, 10 times more money, the Institute of the Cinema, than here in Spain, in France, 10 times. They make around 220 films by year. Here we make 140, but less, with much less money. It's a different kind of industry. Yeah.
But
well, we are
in Spain, in Spain, it's always like this, or it's changing to become like that.
No, I mean, it's a little bit always like this. There is a line of independent creative films that there are good examples, as Albert Serra, José Luis Guerin, Oliver Lax, etc. And then there is a quite big industry which is handling 80% of the money and making commercial films that are circulating quite well in Spain, but not in Latin America, curiously, with the same language. They are not circulating as well as the Argentinian films or other countries' films from Latin America are circulating in Spain, for instance. Here, the Argentinian films have quite a quote, more than the Spanish films in Argentina, probably. It's like that. I don't know, there are different trends. I will say the big movies which are produced in Madrid, for instance, are, as an example, they are looking more to North American cinema in order to make more big films, more established with the script and with the consolidated actors, not natural actors, with professional actors and so on. And the films we make here in Catalonia and in other parts, now in Galicia as well, are more oriented like the small European films, more independent, looking more to Europe than to North America or to Asia, in the sense of another kind of atmosphere, another kind of position, even of the producer in the film. Not only the director, but even the producer, Yeah, that's a
very
question.
interesting to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
have good festivals, no? You have good
Excuse
film
me?
festivals.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
good film festivals.
See,
Yeah.
true. There is
So
San Sebastian, Sevilla, Sitges for genre films and so on. Yeah. And there is
So
yeah, yeah. And we have good actors as well, known international actors, but maybe the thing is that we have not this kind of marketing side very well established in France, like France, to defend the films in the foreign countries, and we lack of good marketing always. We produce oil, but the oil, the famous oil is from Italy, but we produce oil that is bought even for Italians and making the bottle made in Italy. So it's a kind of very atavic thing from the past. We don't know how to sell well what we do. It's like this.
But you co-produce, no? But you co-produce.
Me personally, I
Others.
co-produce a lot. Yes. I co-produce even with other Spanish companies, like this film I told you.
Yeah.
I have been during these last 2 years in 2 films. One has been shoot, it's a kind of documentary, shoot in Iran with a lot of difficulties. Yeah, and it's a first film from a journalist called Javier
Yeah.
Tolentino. And this other film with this new director, I know, that is shoot in the south of Spain, and it's a very interesting fiction film, you know. So there is a way always to cooperate with someone if you like the proposal. I mean, it's a question of feeling, and at least in my case, it's a question of soul, you know. If you contact in a certain field, you know, and you have similar references, not only in the art, if not even in the way of living, then it's nice to be in this family, you know. If not, I prefer not to do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because what I'm, I feel like film, at least my kind of film or our kind of film, has become less and less with less borders, because people,
Yeah.
try to say, oh, is Memoria a Thai film or
Mm.
Colombian film? So sometimes it doesn't, for me, it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
because once you co-produce, is the world cinema, and you can be,
Exactly.
getting money from anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, you have your personality in the films, but the films even are universal. You know, this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
the interesting thing with movies too. Even with a personal vision of something, but it's universal meaning because it's touching uh,
Right.
humanity. Yeah. Okay, so well, I think it's maybe the correct time for this. I don't know if you want to join some comments or join something, or even if you have a plan for the coming future, you have an idea for a new film already, or
I I'm struggling because I'm uh, feeling like I enjoy this time at home, and I'm actually inspired to do something about Thailand with political situation
yeah,
going
that's
on.
true.
But at the same time, I really want to go to Latin America again, and so there's so
Mm.
many things that I want to do. Uh, and at the moment, I'm doing this one project, virtual reality VR project
Wow.
with
Mm.
with Japan and Korea, but I don't know yet what it's gonna be. It could be
Mm.
it's kind of maybe going to the performance.
Mhm.
Venue. Yeah. Mm.
And this is going to be
And
done in the next months. This Japan project
next year, next
next
year,
year.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Now it's drafting, and along with the new film.
yeah, yeah. You
But
need a lot
I
of.
think, yeah, for me, virtual reality is very interesting.
Mm,
I just tried, the headset, and I was thinking that this is the future,
yeah,
that we are going.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Memoria is a little
So,
bit the future too. Memoria, in my point of view. The future
oh,
of
thank you.
making movies.
It's
Yeah,
so interesting. I think Memoria is both like future, but also very ancient too at the same
sure,
time.
sure,
I
sure.
feel I feel that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
And what about
Okay.
you? What are you doing now?
Well, I am fighting. Well, a part of these 2 films that I told you before that I have co-produced that are going to be shown next week in San Sebastian Film Festival in a section called Made in Spain. Besides that, I am preparing my new film as director, but it's hard, as you know, and
Wow.
as I told you before, it's hard because I didn't get the support of the fund of the Ministry of Culture, and I have 3
Right.
possibilities, and here is you have only one possibility by year to present your project.
I see. Yeah.
So these 2 times I have presented project, I get 75 points, but I need 80 points. So it's like being to the school,
Oh. I'm gonna say that.
It's like being to the school, that someone makes you a point. Yeah, you are approved or not approved. Yeah, so I am now waiting for next year and watching the possibility to do it because I have already made locations and I have already decided the crew and so on. Yeah, everything this is done. This is done, and if not, I will try to make it in co-production again, like my last film, Love Me Not, that was made with Julio Chavez Montes from Piano, Mexico.
Yes.
That I see that he's very active now. He's very active. I saw him in Memoria, of course, and also in Annette from Leos Carax. Also, he has a small part of production as well. So I mean, he's moving in the same.
We need these people.
So we'll see. I would like to shoot my next film in the Canary Islands and here in Catalonia, in the Pyrenees. But maybe I will finish to shoot it, I don't know where, in Colombia. Who knows? It will be nice.
Yes, why not? With Diana.
Why not? Yeah, we'll see. Well, Joy, thank you to meet you by this system. Hope to see you soon. I still have in my mind that you invite me once to go to Thailand. I don't know when. Yeah, to go there. Well, I can go flying by my mind, or in an astral trip, I can go to there. But we'll see what happens. I travel much less now with the COVID issue, For instance, in France, it's very complicated now because they ask you for your sanitary pass in a restaurant. If you go to the supermarket, you must have your vaccination or whatever. So it's very complicated for me to move in France now, which is very close to Barcelona. But, I travel much more now in Spain. That's why I make these locations in the Canary Islands, and I was in Mallorca 2 weeks ago, a week of holidays. So I am rediscovering Spain now.
Oh, good. I wish I could join you.
Anytime you like.
Go there before you come here.
Yeah, before Colombia. That's why I was asking you if your flight was via Madrid, because we can meet even in the airport in Madrid, But if Istanbul is a little far for me. To meet you in Istanbul on the way of switching flights. Okay. So all the best for the rehearsals, and thank you for participating in giving ideas to Abycine Lanza for new e-commerce, and as you know, a lot of affection and anything you need from here, please tell me.
Thank you. Yeah. So thank you for this opportunity to meet, and to share memories with you, and for the listener too. Good luck for everything.
Thank you very much. Project. I will inform you. I will take you informed if everything is successful. On the meantime, I have a lot to read. I have a lot to explore again. Yeah, I recommend this book. I don't know if this can be found in Spain, but that's fantastic. This book about memoria. It's una maravilla.
You order online.
Yeah, you can order online. Okay. I will give then the to the festival. I will send the online list. They can.
I'm not part of this. I just give them the material, but
yeah, imagine. But this is very interesting for, because it's everything how to make this film. It's a lot of information.
But it's like a dream, no? To have this kind of book to remember. I always want to do it since Boonmee or since Cemetery
Yeah.
of Splendor
Mm.
to have this record.
Yeah, but this is much more important piece. Bank.
Yeah, a bang.
Bank. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
Uh,
have a
Best
very good
regards.
day.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Ciao.
Thank you. All right.